Hello and good morning. I promise no controversial topics today. Just a good old chat. You get ready with me discussing a topic that I feel like could get into controversial territory if we really wanted to, but I'm not going to take it there. I just want to chat about stuff. Okay, I'm going to start doing my makeup. I'm going to take my Inglot eyeshadow base to prime my eyelids because I have a long day ahead. I'm going to work. At the end of the day, I'm giving a literature discussion presentation that I prepared yesterday. And then in the evening, I'm going out for dinner with my two besties. We haven't gone out for dinner in a really long time, so you have no idea how excited I am. So for today's video, I actually have a topic in mind that I've thought about discussing before, but what finally gave me the push was actually a fellow YouTuber. I don't actually know what her name is. Her channel is called Aretean Beauty. Not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apologies if I'm not. I'm going to link her in my description box so you can check her out. She is very sweet. If you enjoy my kind of content, more luxury type makeup and someone with a very chill, non-hyper vibe, I think you're really going to like her channel. I can only recommend it. I'm going to take the Too Faced Fluff and Brow Wax. She recently hit 2,000 subscribers, and to go along with that video, she talked quite extensively about her YouTube journey, her expectations met and unmet, just what happens behind closed doors for someone who runs a YouTube channel, obviously coming from the perspective of someone who has a smaller channel, just like mine. So I figured maybe it's interesting for you guys to hear about what happens, at the back end of my channel. I've talked about it a little bit before, but not very extensively, so maybe it would be interesting for you to hear. I'm now going to take the color corrector from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Light, and also put that a little bit in the perspective of what she talked about in terms of her channel. I did make a video. I think the last time I spoke about my channel, I think, was in 2021, in the summer of 2021, when I first got monetized. And I got monetized extremely late in my YouTube career because I honestly didn't even know what exactly the criteria were for monetizing. I was so naive, or maybe naive isn't the right word. I was not naive because I didn't have unrealistic expectations based on any sort of knowledge. I just had no information. I just really didn't care enough. And I think also this video, if you're watching this and you are someone who has followed my channel for not too long, will put a few things maybe into perspective for you. I'm going to do a little bit of a mixy mix of my Huda Faux Filter Concealer and the First Aid Beauty one to see whether that combo would work. A very important thing to remember about my YouTube channel is that I am very much a hobby channel. I am a hobbyist here. I have no aspirations to become, a YouTube business, basically. So I am here just for funsies, and because I'm here just for funsies, I do a lot of things very differently from other YouTubers, and I feel like sometimes people don't really quite understand that, so they have some unrealistic expectations on their end. For example, I can't be bothered with lengthy description boxes with affiliate links, and while I know that a lot of you are very sweet and you would really like to support my channel through affiliate links, I really appreciate it. I deeply appreciate it, in fact. But the matter of fact is, I just do not have the time or the energy for that. Also, I think that combination was a little bit too light. My under eyes are trending in 2016. What you gotta do. And now I know that I will have to pull out my deeper shade concealers to really make the Huda one a little bit of a deeper tone, because this did not work out. And just in case this was not clear, because I'm winging this as we go, this video is going to be super chaotic. Good luck following my train of thought. I have a hard time following my train of thought. Before we proceed though, I wanted to show you that I got another sample card from the Lisa Eldridge Foundation. So I tried the Lisa Eldridge Foundation again with the sample cards when it came out. whenever it came out, I think sometime in 2021. And I liked it, but I was not like deeply in love with it, and I still have a bunch of other foundations to go through, but I was purchasing things, they were offering them as, you know, a freebie, and I thought I would revisit this foundation because I was curious how it would perform on me these days and how I would feel about it. I remember really liking how that foundation like spreads out on your skin and blends out. I remember being super impressed with that. Anyway, so I got the Light Set 2, which I had also gotten last time. I think I had even settled on my perfect shade being the shade, I think this one, Light 5. But anyway, I am going to go through most of them, which I also did last time. Right now I have opened here the shade Light 4. As you can see, it is a little bit messy, and I'm going to use that today as my foundation. So I was talking about, you know, people that haven't been around my channel for too long, who are a little bit surprised that I don't do the lengthy, you know, description boxes. And I want to describe to you what a day looks like when I'm filming and editing. So right now it is the morning. I'm going to work in a little bit. I will be at work until like 6ish in the evening, then I will come home. Well, not this evening because I'm going out for dinner, but let's say it was a normal evening when I will just come home. My son is going to be here, so we're going to, you know, feed him, put him to bed, all of that good stuff. I'm going to make dinner, we're going to eat, so by the time I'm actually editing, it is already 8 or past 8. Then I do my editing, which usually takes me about 1.5 hours, and that's because I'm being distracted by the TV, doing other things, you know. I'm just having a good old relaxing time. I don't really mind editing in the evening. I don't find it super tiring. Yes, it takes energy, but it's not something that I absolutely detest and I'm like, oh no, here it is, my second job. Although sometimes I jokingly call YouTube my second job. Anyway, so then I will, you know, be busy with editing until around 10ish. Then I will export the video and upload it on YouTube. So by the time the video is up on YouTube, it is already around 11 in the evening. And after a full day at work and editing and all of that, I can tell you I am really tired. By the way, this foundation blended out really nicely, and I can maybe zoom you in for that. I think it looks really nice. It blended out really beautifully into my skin. It's not emphasizing anything. It's not sticking to like dry patches or something. It actually looks quite lovely. Oh my god, that concealer that I put on is throwing me off so bad, like so bad. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to see this. Now for a long day, I'm going to actually set my face with a powder that is very long lasting. I almost find it a little bit too drying upon first application, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless No Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 1 Fair. I like this powder, but I sometimes find it just like so strong in its like mattifying effect that I don't use it very regularly. But I think today I'm going to have a long day, and I think this powder will do the job just fine. So that is the reason why you almost never see anything in my description boxes, because by the time that I have finished the whole process, I'm just fried. My brain has disconnected and it's capable of very little. I wish I were one of those people who can operate on 4 hours of sleep, but, and maybe that's another reason why I can't do this the way other people can, I'm just like not a very high energy person. I need my 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and I just don't have the energy to run a full-time YouTube channel and a full-time job. And I love my full-time job much more than I love YouTube. So if I'm going to prioritize something and put my all, like give all, it will be at my job. For bronzer, I'm going to take the Gucci bronzing powder in the shade 03. And maybe before I forget, and because of this like false expectation now that everyone will have these like extremely professional YouTube channels, I can throw in what, you know, struck me when I watched Aretean Beauty's video, where she talked about a little bit of her disappointment in met expectations. And what I have noticed the past, especially like 2-3 years of like people joining beauty YouTube in those past 2-3 years, it almost seems to me like they're all coming in with a business plan. is like, okay, I'm going to spend this much money in my first year on buying all the crap tons of makeup. I'm going to upload videos as soon as something new has hit the shelf, and then I will, you know, grow this much within my first year, I will grow this much within my second year, and I will be a self-sustaining or even like a profitable channel by whatever year. And more power to those people, that's fine, you do you. But I'll be honest with you, lately I've been feeling really like lonely on YouTube, if that makes any sort of sense, because I miss the type of creators who are more like me, who are hobbyists, who are just doing this for funsies. I'm really glad that Alice is back on YouTube because I love her channel, I love Alice, and I can relate more to her. There was a time when other people like us who were on YouTube, such as like Bia or Meg, people that you probably have never even heard of because they haven't really done anything on YouTube already for years, but those were my people. Oh, I'm also really happy that Mia from Mia's Virtual Vanity is back on YouTube because yeah, she's one of my people. Anyway, I'm going to take this Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette, and I'm going to mix these two shades for my blush and this one for my highlighter. I find these powders to be incredibly long-lasting on my face, and they just really look flawless on the skin. Anyway, so like I said, oh, I get distracted so easily. I went off on a tangent that I miss YouTubers. Yeah, so, okay, I remember what I was going to say. Because a lot of the people that I enjoyed watching in the past have stopped creating content, and especially at one point, you know, Alice being pregnant with the twins and Mia going through some personal things were not uploading. There was like a really long time when I didn't really have anyone to watch, so I went out and I found other people. And I've really enjoyed finding those other people, but I can't really relate to them because they're more, you know, the type that has come on YouTube to make it on YouTube. I can clearly tell that they have a plan and they have the ambition to go somewhere with this, and I can't really relate to that. So while I really enjoy their content, I cannot really like relate to them on like a more personal like creator level. So unfortunately I've really struggled with that, and it has made me feel like really lonely in a way on YouTube, which I don't know if it makes any sense to you. That's just something I've been feeling on like a little bit like a more personal level here as a small creator slash consumer of beauty YouTube. And you should definitely go and watch Aretean Beauty's video on the topic, because I think it will be much more like eye-opening for someone who comes from the perspective of having a little bit of like almost like sort of like a business plan, who was met with the reality of YouTube that you need quite the initial investment. You are not going to be at a self-sustainable state very quickly unless you have, you know, unless you're very lucky, you made a viral video, or you have a certain type of personality, because that's another thing that I've noticed with people who want to make it on YouTube, that buying all the shit will only take you so far. At a certain point, there comes the personal element, your personality. Do you have any interesting to tell people? Do you have an entertaining sort of personality? And not all of us have that, you know. I'm just very realistic, for example, about me. I think I'm the type of person that you either like me or you really dislike me, because I can have like really strong opinions. So I am definitely not a crowd pleaser. I'm definitely not the kind of person that will attract everyone and will make it really big. And that's never really been my goal. But let's go back to what I was originally going to ramble about. A bit of Fix Plus on my sponge here, which is my personal journey past the point where I got monetized in 2021. So I was really excited when I got monetized in 2021, and I don't know if you remember that, but I had set it for myself as a goal to be able to pay off at least one mothership palette by the end of that year, because I got monetized in the middle of 2021, and I had set it myself as a goal that I will have made enough to pay a full-on mothership palette by the end of that year. And I met that goal, but that was just like a very realistic goal, I think. And also, in case you're not familiar with how this works on YouTube, in order to get monetized, you need to have at least 1,000 subbies and 4,000 watch hours in a year. And I talked a bit more about the 4,000 watch hours in a year in that video that I'm going to link up here in the cards for you. Anyway, let's move into the eye look. The eye look is going to be quite a bit centered again on my NARS Climax palette. I've really been enjoying my NARS Climax palette lately, and I'm going to be doing a neutral look. I'm going to mix these two through my crease, a little bit of this one in the outer corner, and a bit as like my standard like winged out shape. I'm going to put this one on my lids, and I think this one in my inner corners. And you've already seen Moonlit Seduction in the thumbnail, but I'm going to tell you what we will do with Moonlit Seduction in a little bit. So all of that basically means that 2022 was the first year where I was monetized for the absolute full year, and I could follow my, you know, financial gains throughout a whole year, see how, you know, videos perform throughout the month, how certain videos perform over others. So my only income on YouTube comes from AdSense. And I usually turn on, you know, AdSense for all of my videos. I have absolutely no idea how many commercials you're getting throughout the video. None of that. I had absolutely no idea what to expect. And obviously, depending on the amount of uploads, the types of videos that you're making, some videos are obviously going to make much more money than others. Like videos on new Pat McGrath releases, videos on new Lisa Eldridge releases always make a good amount of money. So in the year of 2022, and keep in mind that YouTube keeps about 20% of your AdSense revenue, I made a total of about 500 euros. Like if I sum up all the money that I have earned for 2022 from my YouTube channel, what comes on my bank account, so after YouTube has taken their own cut from that, I have made a total of about 500 euros, which frankly is peanuts. I think that if I were to have affiliate links, I would probably have a couple hundred euros more, so I would probably be sitting more in the range of 1,000 euros a year, which for most people would seem like peanuts. And especially if you're going into this buying a lot of stuff in the beginning so that you can get to a self-sustainable state, then 1,000 is really going to be like a minute percentage of what you're actually going to have spent on YouTube. Now, because of my spending habits and the fact that I am quite picky with what I purchase, and I've gotten even pickier over the years, for me having made 500 euros is like great. I have, you know, paid off probably about 1/3 of my makeup purchases for the whole year. And like I said, as someone who has absolutely zero ambitions, I just see this as a nice little bonus, and I really enjoy it. Like for me, that's more than enough. And I definitely think there are months, you know, when you make a little bit less. I think in January and maybe February you make a little bit less from AdSense, and then in the months of like November and December leading up to Christmas, probably ads become more expensive on YouTube and people make more in December, which is why people post every day in December. It's not for your viewing pleasure, it's for their financial benefit. But anyway, in terms of, you know, the satisfaction, like the emotional satisfaction and what I gained back from YouTube, I definitely think in the last couple of years that has improved tremendously for me, because I think I finally found my niche. And I have to say that for a channel of my size and the type of content that I do, which is a lot basically centered on shop my stash type of videos, although I will say never name your videos shop my stash because they're going to do really poorly. But the pet pairing series, the Chatty Get Ready With Me's where I use older makeup, they're essentially all like a shop my stash type of video. I very rarely these days have like actual new makeup to talk about. I do buy obviously new makeup, and I enjoy still, you know, participating in newer releases from Pat McGrath, from Lisa Eldridge, sometimes from Natasha Denona and Charlotte Tilbury, but for the most part I buy very little makeup compared to people who want to make it on YouTube. And that's, you know, because that works for me. I don't want to have a massive collection. In fact, I'm now at the stage where I want to downsize my collection to my perfect like capsule collection, although capsule collection for me is going to be something of a completely different term than for other people who are more minimalistic. By the way, taking a little bit of the NYX glitter glue to apply on my lid. So I think that considering the types of videos that I make, I get a really good engagement and a really good amount of views. I think generally you would expect to make around 10% views and engagement from the total amount of subbies that you have. And I'm happy to say that thanks to all of you, I'm hitting more like the 20 to 30% mark, which is really awesome. It means that the content that I create is engaging the right audience. Okay, I'm going to take this beautiful rose goldy shade now with a flat shader brush, and I'm going to generously apply that all over my lids. It is such a beautiful neutral shade. I really love this shade. I also think I'm getting quite a lot of like comments, which is fantastic because I've said it before and I will say it again. The only thing that keeps me going, the only reason that I enjoy making videos is because I can engage with you in my comment section. So I will ramble, and then I will post the video, I will wake up in the morning, and I cannot wait together with my coffee to read through your comments. And most of the time I don't really have time to respond to them before I go to work. I usually do that, you know, if I'm going up and down the stairs at work or in the evening or on another day. But that is one of the biggest reasons that has kept me going all this time, despite the fact that I've always remained a small channel. The fact that I have met really wonderful people through YouTube, I've made actual friendships through YouTube, and I just really like talking to you, and I think I finally really found my niche and my people. You know what, before applying the inner corner, I think I might actually do my inner corner also from Molded Seduction, because I think the shade from the Climax palette is a little dark for my inner corners. So I'm going to take this one here from the Molded Seduction palette, the classic champagne for the inner corners, and use it the way it is meant. And now the moment you have all been waiting for, what shade are we going to layer? I am actually going to take this beautiful gold topper here, which I haven't used in a hot minute, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful layered over that rose gold shade from NARS Climax. Oh, beautiful. I really like how this looks like. Okay, the look is almost done. The only thing I'm going to do now is apply this shade on my lower lashes and maybe just deepen out the very outer corner with this deeper shade. But that will be pretty much it for this look and for this rambling. I probably had a lot of other things that I wanted to say that I forgot about, so I might come back and revisit this topic at some point. I have started a passionate love affair with the shade Rain from Lisa Eldridge. I demoed this lipstick, I want to say last week, for a pet pairing video, for which I had actually borrowed the lipstick from one of my friends at work, and I was so enamored with the color. I fell instantly in love, so I purchased it, and since then I have fallen deeper and deeper in love, because I think this is just such an absolutely unique shade of like pink. It is literally the most attractive pink lipstick that I have ever seen in my life, and I cannot get enough of it. I'm actually wearing the combo of the lip pencil together with the lipstick. And you know what I think is interesting? You know a lipstick is very unique when you can recognize it on other people. And I think actually Charlotte Holdcroft shares my passion for this lipstick, because I have recognized her wearing this lipstick already a couple of times scrolling through her Instagram feed. So beautiful, lovely, unique shade. I absolutely love it. Alright, I'm going to close this video off. I hope that all of my all over the place ramblings as usual made any sort of sense to you. Can't wait to chat in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!